And we're back with the second episode of creating the mashed potato. Let's look at how we've been doing. Firstly, let's look at things that have been going well. Surprisingly, for Cassandra van Udenhoven, the early crosses and beating the line have been working really well. You can see that she's scored a number of goals from here. For Paula McCrory, it hasn't quite worked out. I'm not sure if it's that she has a really low work rate or what it is, but she has not been doing well with these. Our instructions for the left winger to cross from the byline and aim for the near post worked out in this goal for Rachel Graham. One of the keys for this tactic was that we wanted to play long balls forward, win the second ball. You can see in this clip that even though Cassandra doesn't win the header, we play a cross in and the ball eventually comes to Kayara Rodriguez and she manages to find the back of the net with this absolute screamer. We've actually scored 8 goals out of the 16 in total from either us playing a long ball forward and winning the second ball, or as you're going to see in this clip against Piment, where they play a long ball and we win the header and attack from there. Again, we put the cross in, their defender clears it, but only as far as our winger, who puts the ball back in, and Alquemi finds the back of the net with a headed goal. We've also wanted to look dangerous from set pieces, and unfortunately we've got no goals from corners, but Eve Pearson managed to score this free from outside the box. And of course, you can't play direct football without the goalkeeper hoofing it all the way up, someone getting a flick on, and the striker finding the back of the net. That happened in our first game against Shamrock Rovers. Kniebe flicking it on for McGrory, which is actually McGrory's only goal of the season so far. And then again, in the last game we played against Shelburne, McKiernan again with a long ball up front, and this time Cassandra van Udenhoven finding the back of the net. If we take a look at the league stats, you can see we are leading at headers won and heading percentage. And then when we look at the players, none of ours are in the top 15, showing that it's been an all-round team effort. We're also leading the league in clearances, with Nia Hanning performing quite well. Bonnie McKiernan is performing really well in goals, holding on to most of the shots that she faces. In terms of crossing, we are doing strong, second in the league, with Athlone dominating on 31%. Although we slipped down on numbers created, and we want to look at that going forward. And if we turn our attention to what hasn't worked, firstly, Cassandra van Udenhoven, who has been sensational for us this season, scoring 8 goals across all competitions, is doing very badly in the air for us. Discipline has also been a problem. Not only in the first game against the LR Waves did we concede a goal from a penalty, but in 2 more games against Shamrock Rovers and against Wexford, we let them score from the spot. We had a very disappointing game against Galway United when Avine Costello was able to beat Therese Kniebe in the air for 1 goal, and then followed it up again, this time unmarked, for a second headed goal. These are goals that shouldn't be happening, especially when we look at Costello and see that she only has 7 jump and reach compared to Knieve's. We have been quite strong defending corners, but there has been one small weakness, and that is the near post. Shamrock Rovers managed to score against us from the second phase of a corner where we didn't quite deal with the near post as well as we should have. Again, here we see Sligo winning the header at the near post. McKiernan manages to pick it up, but there's a mistake that has also happened way too often, where the long ball goes and finds nobody. They manage to counter a ball over the top, which is our weakness, and they score. If we look at Bonnie, her passing and her kicking are really, really low. And that is why, despite the fact that she's been performing well, stopping shots, we are going to pick up Leia Demarais, a Belgian goalkeeper who has great aerial reach but also good passing. The final clip we'll look at is from the game against Piedmont. It comes from our set piece. They get the ball, goalkeeper plays it forward, and the problem here is Eve Pearson shouldn't be in a position to be challenging for the long ball. She should be on the edge of the box, but they ended up losing that challenge. They get the ball into the box and they score. One other problem that we saw in the game against the Allure Waves was that the strikers weren't in position when we'd play early crosses, particularly from the wingers. So we've set now the patience to standard instead of hit early crosses, and I've now set also the right winger to copy the left to cross from the byline and aim for near post. We've left the fullbacks set to hit early crosses. That was particularly working very well with Van Udenhoven. And we've also changed the centre forward from a deep lying forward to a target forward. So hopefully they're a bit more on the line, a bit more getting a bit more forward. One other thing that we've changed, because of McKiernan's bad passing stats, we've had to go to short goal kicks and balance distribution. She was having real struggles kicking the ball past the halfway line, and that's where our defence was lining up for the goal kicks, and there was a few near dangerous turnovers against Sligo Rovers. So we've switched to that, and because she's set for her passing to be more direct, she still kind of goes a little bit long with the passing, but it goes to the fullbacks or the central midfielders, and there's a bit more space for the passes. There's less of turnovers, and when we do turn it over, it's not as dangerous. There's still the defensive line to beat. One other thing we're going to do is change the set pieces. So we're going to change, she's not in the starting lineup anymore, but for Pearson and Brennan, since they're short, we're going to change them from when they were defending set pieces from being the players at the back, that they're going to be the player at the edge of the area picking up the loose ball. The reason why neither of them are in the matchday squad anymore is because we've picked up two new players. Firstly, Kyara Rodriguez, who has 11 corners and 11 free kick taking. So she takes over the role as set piece taker, and she also has a jumping reach of 13. So without the requirements of taking set pieces, those other two shorter players get taken out of the squad. Kyara Rodriguez also has great crossing as well. And Lila Wallace on the left wing, 12 jumping, probably the weakest in our starting 11, but it's very hard to find left wingers with good jumping. Again, she is great crossing. And the other change, which we had already talked about, is a potential transfer with Leia Demarais, which might mean that we'll revert back to going long goal kicks once she comes because of her passing skill. But they're all the changes that have happened. And if we look at everything put together and see how we're doing, then you can see that we're first in the Premier Division. We're unbeaten in 16 points, 1 draw against Galway United, 16 goals for, 8 goals against. And if we just look at the fixture schedule, so we lost in the Cup to Rovers, but then 4-1 against Sligo, 3-1 against Wexford, 3-3 against Galway, 2-1 against Peamount, and 1-0 against Shelburne. Treaty United and Athlone Town, they're the two strongest teams in the division, and we'll be playing them next. We'll play the Treaty United game on camera, and we will be looking at how our changes, what impact our changes make. So we'll be looking at specifically goal kicks, the target forward, how that's working, and the crosses. And I might look at changing the set piece routine a little bit. So we'll be back with the game against Treaty United. We're back for the game against Treaty United. So we haven't changed the corner routine because the team are only okay with it. They're not really that familiar. Once that's full and we're still not scoring, I will look at changing it. Another thing I forgot to mention is that Kyara Rodriguez has 9 in long throw. So we're going to start trying some long throws. She'll be taking it on both sides. And we're only going to do it when we're in the attacking third. And we're going to have our strongest aerial threats, 1 attacking the near post, 1 lurking, and 1 marking the keeper. So if we look at the lineup, we're playing Melly now as the second striker because of Rodriguez taking her place on the right wing. And we did sign Demare in time for this match. So we've switched back to long ball, goal kicks, and target forward. So let's give her a number 1. And as we said, for this match, we're going to be looking at our goal kicks, how the target forward is working, how our wingers are working, and we're going to look at the long throw. So I'm going to watch the full game again, and I'll be back when something interesting happens. So first goal kick, let's see how Leah does. So as you can see, what was happening before with McKiernan was that the ball would come here, she'd play it high in the air, and then it would be a contest, and if this player won, we were in a 2v2. So let's see what happens. She plays it long, fullback wins. Okay, let's see if we can build anything from here. Kenevi long ball forward, nothing. So I'm still not sure. I might change that, but I'll see what happens with the next goal kick. And now we have the first long ball from play with the new role as target forward and better passing. And Cassandra wins the first header, and we have the second ball. Melly was well positioned. Carol now has the ball down the line to Wallace. Plays in across, and Van Udenhoven. Oh, that's a good save. But again, Van Udenhoven is not making that many threats with aerially, but her movement is so good. Now let's see from the corner. Nothing. Can we get the second ball? Melly back to Kenevi. Plays it forward to Rodriguez, and it's out for a goal kick. We've got another goal kick here. Let's see how this one goes. So again, maybe another thing we can do is change the position of the fullbacks so they're a little bit lower. But again, long ball, defender wins. Yeah, so I'm gonna change the position of the fullbacks first and then see. So what we'll do is team shape. In possession, the fullbacks are gonna sit back more because they're sitting back. Do we have to change it? No. Okay. So let's see how that works for the goal kicks. They play the ball in and we clear it out. Perfect. So now they have a corner. I didn't actually change anything about defending corners, but we have Gorman and Hannon on the near post. And we know Hannon is one of the best performers for heading in the league. And Gorman has 15 jumping reach, so it should be okay in the near post, but we'll see if they go near post and what happens. So it's whipped in and near post, and De Marais actually claims it. So it might be not much of a problem anymore with the better aerial reach of De Marais. And now we've got a throw in a dangerous position. Our first long throw, see if we can do anything from it. So it ends up throwing it short, but puts it in the box, and they head clear. Back to Hannon, and a goal kick. Why did that go short? Am I not saying long throw? Attacking third, long throw. Okay. So we'll just watch the second corner from Treaty. So again, near post, and this time Rodriguez heads away, back out again. So this is where we were got by Shamrock Rovers with the second phase, but we've pushed them out. They play a long ball forward, and Rodriguez heads it out for a throw in. Treaty are in control at the moment. So lots of possession, they've had more chances, but we've had the better one. Let's see. Nothing from that. Do we get anything from this long ball forward? So plays it forward, and this one goes too far, but we get the second ball. Gorman Graham van Udehove out wide to Carroll, and then see Udehove is pushing up immediately. Then a long ball forward. That's not going to work out. Alright, now looking at another goal kick for us. Very exciting. The fullbacks are deeper, so let's see how it goes. She plays it forward. See, they win the header, but this time I think it wasn't as dangerous. We were able to pick up the ball, and now we can build from here. Gorman all the way out to Carroll. Then down to Wallace, who's going to try and beat the player probably. So nothing from the attack. So again, another corner from Treaty, and De Marais again picks the ball out of the air. Leia again picks up a loose ball. She's going to play another long ball, and we'll see. We might have to change aiming for target forward if she misses, because she's missed a lot, and she's missed again. So we're going to change to balanced, and we've also gone back to short goal kicks. So let's see how that fares out in the future. We watch this attack. So Carroll has the ball, plays it to Wallace, to Gorman, back to Wallace, who has a terrible pass, and they turn it over, and they can actually break here. So Flacchini pushed wide. Oh, and a penalty. Oh, Nia, you did so well until you forced her out wide. She was going nowhere, and then you stuck your foot in. You're meant to ease off those tackles, I think. So I'll check after the penalty. So Leia goes the right way, but still finds the back of the net. Standard. Do I want the centre backs to ease off? Maybe. We'll cut out maybe cut out all those penalties. Those 4 penalties we've given away now. So the midfield, they can still be combative, win tackles, win the ball further up the pitch, but once they get close, then we want to stand off. We want to force them into a cross. They've got another corner, so this is their third corner of the game, and this is looking like it's going to be the first game that we lose. They are all over us, but let's see how we deal with it. Near post again, headed away, and now we can actually break. So Melly picks up the ball. Not a great touch. Should play it back to support. Yeah, so Rodriguez now can go forward. Back to Melly. Back to Gorman. Oh, there was maybe a 1-2 on there. Now we want to switch it. But we play it forward to Van Udenhoven. Loses the ball. Second ball, Graham. Playing too centrally. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Do I make the change already? Let's make the change already. We need some creative force in the central midfield. Is that for the right position? Yeah. Okay. And another corner. So let's see if we head this one away. Yeah, I'm happy with our near post. Okay, now we have our goal kick, and we're sitting further back, and plays it out to Kenevi, who plays it down the line. Pearsons has the ball. Let's see how we're looking. I think I prefer that for the goal kick. It still goes a little bit long, but there's more space for the pass. Probably the last goal kick we'll look at, but see how this one works out. So there's passes on Graham, Carroll, centre backs as well, but she goes out to Kenevi, and then we have the ball down the wing. So Pearson, Kenevi, Pearson again. They're pressing quite high. Then we play a long ball. Yeah. Let's see if we can win the second ball here. So this is what we're set up to do. They're going to play it long. This should be Carroll's, no problem. To Wallace. Then we have the ball. Van Udehove. Melly plays it out wide. Bad pass. And here's the danger of us standing off. So they play it out to Griffin, and we're standing off, give her lots of space, cuts inside, scores. But I think that's going to be more of a rarity and won't happen as often. See what we do from the goal kick. Nothing. We've also pushed the full backs up to wing backs again, since we're going for the more mixed or shorter goal kick. And now let's see what Wallace can do from the break here. She beats the player. Nobody's in the box. Puts the ball in. Caught. So we've got a chance here. Kenevi with the ball on the right wing. See what she does. Plays it cross in. And they head it away for a throw in. So now we can see if we're going to put a long ball in actually this time. So Rodriguez again with the ball. Lining up for the long throw and plays it short to Melly. But can she put the cross in? No. Can we win this header? This is going to be messy. And they're going to break with Flacchini. Beats the player. We're standing up. Good tackle from Kenevi. End of. Cassandra has the ball in the centre. Plays it out to Kenevi. Down to Rodriguez, who can run at her defender. Beats it. Can put the ball in. Goes to the byline. Puts the ball in. Graham. Corner. So this is our first corner of the game. Let's see how we do. Rodriguez to whip it in. So we draw out the player. Play it in. They win the header. Only out as far as Graham. Puts it back in. Rodriguez. Goal kick. Demarais has caught yet another corner. I'm just going to play the ball up front. Another long ball to Cassandra to chase. But she loses the header. Or for Melly to chase. Melly loses the header, but Van Udenhoven turns it over. Melly plays it out to Rodriguez. Pearson. Out to Kenevi. Looks to beat the player, but trips. Okay, so we're starting to be a little more dangerous, have a little more possession. But in the final third, we're still not doing too well with it. It's a Strange ball back to Pearson's. Kenevi with the ball. What is that pass? Oh, put it in the box. Okay, I think we're gonna stick with hit early crosses. Okay. 60 minutes in, and they've got a corner. We're going to make a few changes. So Van Udenhove is going to come off. Hannah O'Brien is going to come on. It's a good save. We've also changed back to hitting early crosses because we've started to get a bit better possession, look a bit more dangerous in this second half, but we're still not creating chances. We're not putting the ball in the box. So we're going to look at that change, and I think we'll bring Doyle on for Carroll. So that's what's happening. We'll be back again when something else happens. Doyle has the ball here on the left, and she's beaten the player, and we have a 4v3 if she's quick enough. So put the ball in the box. Rodriguez there. No. Out to Pearson. Back to Kenevi. Pearson to Rodriguez. Back to Pearson. And too congested. Nothing. $18 to go, and we're going to go attacking in a minute to try and salvage something from this game. But right now, McKee with the ball on the right. Kenevi slows it down, plays it to Pearson, who plays a long ball. Rodriguez picks it up. Back to Kenevi, put it in the box. Corner. Let's see, can we get something from the corner? So we draw the player out. And now McGovern. Oh, that's so deep. Should be near post. So I don't know what happened here. Why are they there? And Eve Pearson was back in the center. Eve, you're the worst. Aerial threat, we don't want you in there. We want you as a counter-attacker. And what happened was Eve Pearson gave away a penalty. So that's the second penalty of the game for Treaty United. They definitely deserve to be ahead. They've dominated the game. But 3-0? Probably 3-0. It's 2 penalties, so that's so frustrating. So we'll have to change that to make sure that Pearson is never in the box. Yeah. 88th minute. We've got a long throw chance here. Let's see if she actually puts it in the box this time. She winds up and throws it short to McKee. I don't understand. But McKee puts the ball in and they break. I don't understand. Instructions. Set pieces. Throw-ins, attacking third. Long throw. 3 minutes to go. And they've got another corner. No, it's a throw-in. So they put the ball in. Keeper claims the ball. It's having a bad game. A bit harsh. Losing 3-0, she let in 2 goals. 2 goals were penalties. She's claimed a lot of crosses. Yeah. That was interesting though. But we kept the ball. Let's see the long ball up front to the winger. Alquemi wins it, but nobody for the second ball. Then they play it forward. Now we have possession. O'Brien spreads it out to the right. Kinivi to Rodriguez. To Pearson. Back to Rodriguez. Down the line to McKee, who can't run. And now for a throw in. Alright. Kayara. Let's do the long throw. Is that as far as she can throw it? Oh, but a goal for Hannah O'Brien. We got a goal out of it, sure. Editing Crispy Potato here. For some reason, the audio stopped recording for this last clip, but it's the last play of the match. Another corner for Trinity. They don't get anything from it. It seems like our defending near posts is doing pretty well. Unfortunately, nothing else did too well in the game. Well, maybe the long throws worked. I mean, they were throwing it short all the time, but it meant players were in the box for the cross, and we did get a goal from it. They dominated the game. They're one of the strongest in the league. They scored 2 penalties. If those penalties didn't happen, could it have been a different result? I don't know. I forget what else I talk about here. Throw-ins, or not throw-ins, crosses were kind of okay. We messed around with the goal kicks a little bit. I think we're going to settle on the short goal kicks for the future. Not sure about the positioning for the fullbacks. Set pieces, we have to do some changes to make sure the right players are in the right places. And we're going to see how it's going to be with the defenders not easing off on tackles for the future. Otherwise, I think we're not going to make any other changes going forward. And we'll see how the rest of the games go. That was our first defeat in 6. And the next game was against Athlone, which are also a difficult team. But we will continue on. We'll be back again after 7 or 8 matches. See how the players have adapted to the tactic, if it's been working, if it's not. And I'll be tweaking all the way in between. And I'll be back next week, next Tuesday, for the continuation. Until then, bye.